Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 1-1-1 club and the importance of 1-1-1 players. Now before I continue, I just wanted to say I decided to make this video because in one of my comments on one of my mock drafts, I believe I took Pascal Siakam in the second round, and someone commented and they're like, that's way too high for Siakam and that he shouldn't have been drafted that high. And if you guys have watched my previous videos, particularly my mock drafts, I believe he definitely should be drafted that high, and this is part of the reason why he should be drafted in the late second, early third round at the latest. Alright, so moving on. Last year, there was only two 1-1-1 club players, Anthony Davis and Robert Covington. Last year, Anthony Davis averaged 1.1 threes, 1.5 steals, and 2.5 blocks, while Covington averaged 2.4 threes, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks. So that's it, guys. Two players were in the 1-1 club last year. Just two. Two people who were consistent enough to be able to average 1 3, 1 steal, and 1 block for you all year round. Now, there were people that were close, people that almost did it, and those names include James Harden, who had 0.9 blocks, and I didn't put like the two things that they did excel in, just the one category that they did not, to show you how close it was. So James Harden had 0.9 blocks, Karl Anthony Towns had 0.9 steals, Jason Tatum had 0.9 blocks, Joel Embiid had 0.9 steals, Pascal Siakam had 0.9 blocks, and Drew Holiday, which was a surprise to me, was pretty close with 0.8 blocks. So of the top 200 players coming into this season, ESPN and likely every other fantasy basketball outlet will only have 3 players projecting to hit the 1-1-1 club. And they are the Greek Freak, again Anthony Davis, and again Robert Covington. That's it. 3 players are projected, and with projections, you never know what you're going to get, but usually ESPN tries to give players like strong years, everyone, not someone who's might have a poor year. Everyone's going to have like about the same year that they had last year, at least, if not better. And ESPN is only giving the 1-1-1 projection to these 3 players. That's it. So we do have some notables though, because last year it was 6 players that were very close, and so potential notable 1-1-1 players are Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, PJ Washington, who averaged 1.5 threes, 0.9 steals, and 0.8 blocks as a rookie at 30 minutes per game. And he may do better this season because he was just a rookie last year. Then we have Matisse Thybulle, who averaged 0.9 threes, 1.4 steals, and 0.7 blocks as a rookie last year with only 20 minutes per game. Now, I'm a Sixers fan, and I love Thybulle. He was great last year, but I don't know if he's going to get much more time than he did last year. But if he does, he should be noted, especially in those deeper leagues. And the last player I have as a notable is James Johnson, who's currently on Dallas, who averaged 1 3 last year, 0.7 steals, and 1 block in only 19 minutes. And this year he's projected to be at 25 minutes per game this season. So he can definitely up those totals, and he should be close in that steals category to hit the 1-1-1 club. Now, I have a breakout candidate who I do want to mention because he's pretty close, and he's close enough just to have people know about him, and that's Jeremy Grant. And I know, guys, he's had a horrendous preseason so far. His move over to Detroit to start and get more minutes this season, it hasn't started that well, and I'm saying he's dropping in drafts, and rightfully so. But if he gets everything figured out, and I think Detroit's going to give him the ample time and ample opportunity to do so. Last year, he averaged 1.3 threes, zero point 0.7 steals, and zero point 0.8 blocks in Denver at 26 minutes a game last year. Now in Detroit, he's projected to be at 34 minutes a game this upcoming season, which is 8 more minutes per game, which is huge. So I think he should definitely be a breakout candidate this season, as he came into the league as a defensive specialist. I should know, I'm a Sixers fan, and he was drafted by the Sixers. And so he came in as a defensive specialist who couldn't shoot the three ball. And now that he has the three in his game, now that he's starting, he should still have those defensive tools to hit the 1-1-1 number club. Also, I have a long shot breakout candidate this year, and that is Zach LaVine, who last year averaged 3.1 threes, 1.5 steals, and 0.5 blocks. So then blocks, though, like, what's changed? Well, first off, he has a new coaching staff, and he's coming off his best year. Not only that, if anyone watched him in preseason, he looks like he's on a mission. And he's had a block in every single preseason game so far, and I know it's only preseason, but that's still impressive, especially for a guard. He has 4 total blocks in 3 games, and at that pace, that's just really good. It's over 1 a game. If he could keep something like that up into the regular season, and I see no reason why he can't with his athleticism, he should be on your board as a long shot breakout candidate for sure. So why are 1-1-1 players so important? Like, why am I making this video? Well, they consistently fill the stat sheet in a balanced manner. So the key word there is consistently. So if you have someone with like 0.5 blocks, that means he's going to get you 1 block every other game. And he might go 4 or 6 games without any blocks, and then get you 2 or 3 blocks in that one game to make his average at 0.5 again. But with the 1-1-1 players, they're consistently doing it. So if they miss one game where they don't do it, they might make it up the very next game. If they don't make it up the next game, the very next game after that, you might get them all back after that. And that's important because you're playing weekly matchups, and in weekly matchups, your guys are playing 3 to 4 times a week. So you're going to get that consistency out of those players. So then it also shows strength and it shows strength offensively and defensively. So when you're playing against your opponent, if you have Anthony Davis or Robert Covington or the Greek Freak, you're showing a nice balance, which is the next part of this. You're showing a nice balance in strength on the offense and defensive sides of the ball. So your guys, of those the three who made it last year, and Anthony Davis, the Greek Freak, and Robert Covington, they were how do I want to say this? They were producing in a lot of categories instead of just 1 or 2 separate categories. Like maybe you just have a 3-point specialist who, if you add up the 3, it's something called stocks, and if you add up the threes, the steals, and the blocks, it could come out to like a 4.5, right, guys? So if you have that, but you don't, like, let's say take like Davis Bertans. He doesn't offer much in the defensive categories, but he averages like 3.7 threes a game, which is nice. He's a nice specialist, don't get me wrong, but he's just a category specialist. With Covington, Davis, Greek Freak, and all the other players I've mentioned, they do that and they spread it out. So you're going to be able to compete better in all those categories instead of just one category. And the second reason why 1-1-1 players are so important is because there's just so few of them. Last year there was only 2. This year there's only 3 projected. And talking about the draft, 3 of those players that we've talked about in this video are first-round talents. So I believe it would be Anthony Davis, the Greek Freak, and James Harden, who's very close. Then you also have 3 in the second round, which would be Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid and Pascal Siakam, who should be valued at that round two, and this is why. And then you also have Covington and Holiday, whose ADP it's around the 4 to 6 round range, which is fine. And the only reason is because they don't offer as much as the players I've already mentioned, but they do have strong value, which is why they're in those late mid rounds, or maybe just mid rounds in general. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found this this video informative or helpful, and make sure to subscribe to get more fantasy basketball content from my channel all season long. Have a good one.